Okay, so this is how I'm spending my night. Instead of right now being at the promenade, the opening prom, everyone walks in and shows off their pretty dresses to the community as they walk in and watch as everyone gets crowned. I'm here at home making a video about the best pairing in the world, Moonshend. And since I'm going to be putting this on YouTube, even though my only follower is a friend from school who probably never watches these, she probably has no idea what I'm talking about, and she probably doesn't care. I don't know if we could even be considered friends anymore. We don't talk much, but anyways, in case you don't know, that's a pairing between Pete Townsend and Keith Moon. It never happened, to my knowledge. No. Like, there's a lot of evidence against why it could happen, but there's a lot of evidence as to why it could happen, which is why I ship it. And, when I mean, like, against it, I just kind of mean, like, the way Keith was so possessive when it came to Kim, his wife, and how after she left him, that's whenever he started actually falling apart and stuff. I guess whenever he got more heavy into the boost and the LA days started, and we all know how Los Angeles just destroyed him. But, and also how Pete was obviously in love with his wife Karen and stuff. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I consider my headcanon, like my imagination, how I believe it could all work. Because, like, I read Keith's biography. Now, while a lot of you guys are probably pulling out Jeeth moments, John Entwistle and Keith Moon, I noticed a lot of different things that could point to Moonshend. But, of course, they don't start at all until, I would say, after the A Quick One era, because they didn't really get along at all in the beginning. You know, Keith was kind of more friends with John, but Pete was a little, standoffish to Keith. But Keith looked up to Pete, so that kind of hints to something. He preferred Pete to Roger, and those were the two of the leaders at the time. They were kind of fighting for dominance in the group. So we know that much. And then after the Quick One sessions, the entire band as a whole got along a lot better. And there is an incident that happens in, was it 67? I need to get my biography out with me. But they were supposed to appear in Ready, Steady, Go. But no, they weren't going to appear in Ready, Steady, Go. Keith just happened to be there with, and John Entwistle was too, with a Beach Boy, with this brand new Beach Boy that had just joined the group. And they were spending time, but they were late to their own show somewhere. And Pete was mad, and and as they were smashing their instruments, it actually turned into a full-out brawl. Like, Pete was using his guitar to hit Keith, Keith was throwing his drum set him and stuff. And you might think, wait, so how are they even ever going to get together if they're fighting? Well, Pete just has a temper. We all know that. I mean, he's mad. But he does end up saying, I know at one point in a magazine, even though he's like keep on dissing Keith, I think it's more of a front, if you're going to say for my headcanon. He believes that, he likes Keith at this point, but doesn't want to admit it. And, sorry, in case you're wondering, I cut my thumb, so I have a Band-Aid on it. In case you're wondering what that weird thing is. But, but he said he wouldn't want to play with anyone other than Keith, so, But as things got on, people kept on noticing that they were, like, kind of on the same wavelength. Different personalities, but on the same wavelength. Sounds like a kind of, thing that you would say to, like, a soulmate couple. They're on the same wavelength, they can understand each other and bounce off of each other. Like, I think if anything happened between the two of them, that it would have to be before, Who Sell Out got recorded, because notice the spike in love songs on that album? Like, there's a lot of them, like, right then. And then he kind of started shying away from that, and he didn't get back into writing them until later. So, you would think, like, a relationship would have started then. And I think it's a good time for that to start. But, like, some good examples as to why the pairing could work would be the interview. I think it's threaded throughout The Kids Are Alright. I haven't seen the documentary yet. I'm asking for it for my birthday. Yes, but, there's that interview that they do after they won a concert. And, they just bounce right off of each other. You see how the dialogue works between them. I can't remember what it is, but it's the one in which Keith starts tearing off Pete's shirt. He is working on his muscles. Why would you mention that if you weren't interested in them? That's what I kind of think. And, then Pete started tearing off at Keith's clothes, and Keith, like, bit Pete's knee, and it was all playful. But that's how I see the relationship as. This big, giant, playful fun. Because Pete could let loose around Keith. And I know whenever Keith was in LA, he would call Pete, and for Pete it'd be totally in the middle of the night, early morning kind of stuff. And Keith would be drunk, but he would confide in Pete. No other band member he would call. That's to disprove all you Keith shippers, if you've been watching this, because it's not even related to your ship. But, because if he really loved John, why is he calling Pete when he's drunk? And why would he be telling Pete in these calls, I love you? That was my favorite piece of evidence. When I saw that, I was actually reading that in the middle of chorus, because there's sometimes some downtime, and I was just like, do not squeal in the middle of class. If I was at home, I probably would have been like, because it's just that, like, I don't think I've seen such an obvious sign. But, like, it really works. And then, think about how, after Keith died, Pete began his spiral downward himself. He already had some bad alcoholic tendencies. But, like, after Keith died, it just got out of control. And he began to take on Keith's persona. And he was wondering, if he really loved Keith, why did he replace him? It was denial. He wanted life to seem normal. Get a drummer. Go on tour, distract myself from him. But it was not working. And, yeah, he kind of does blame Keith, and he's kind of angry at him sometimes. Like, apparently that's the whole reason why he wouldn't contribute an actual interview specifically for that biography. He had to just pull out quotes from before. Tony Fletcher had to just pull quotes from other things Pete said. Because he was in a process of being angry at Keith. Because he had kind of just recently spiraled back into his alcoholism. And he kind of blames Keith for starting that. Which is understandable. I mean, but Pete's just angry at everything. You gotta know that. But, I mean, there are just some things where it's like, I almost feel like it could have happened. And, like, just my imagination pieces things together. I know that I have more evidence somewhere as to why it works. Like, I think one time there's a tale that was told in there in which, like, Keith and everyone else were all drugged up. And this was after Pete had kind of, like, said, nope, not doing it anymore. I'm devoted to Mayor Baba. Is it Mayor or Meyer? I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. I haven't heard Pete talk about that in a while. Been trying to devote my obsessions between Who and Monkeys, so it's a little fuzzy. But, like, he gave up drugs. But he was able to get on that perfect destructive wavelength that they were on. Just, it's like... And the biographer even mentioned that they were soulmates, right in the text. Okay? I'm gonna go overtime, so I'm gonna pause this right now, and I'm probably gonna start up a second video here.